Hello everyone, welcome to PSI for All. Today's video is an understanding of the complex world of anxiety and some practical tips for managing it. Anxiety is when you worry too much about everyday stuff and can't seem to relax. This is a common emotional response, a part of human nature when you are dealing with certain stressors or challenges in life. It's like you're on a never-ending treadmill, constantly in motion, with your thoughts racing at the speed of light. These worries might take form in various ways, such as concerns about your job security, your health, or even about relationships. It can feel as if you're caught in a labyrinth of your thoughts, with every turn leading to another worry. Worrying in itself is not inherently harmful, but when it becomes excessive, it can take a toll on your mental health. The constant cycle of worry and stress can make it hard for you to calm down and find peace within your own mind. This can eventually lead to constant uneasiness and an inability to focus. Anxiety in certain amounts can be considered as a normal physiological response to stressors, such as before facing a test or delivering a nerve-wracking speech. But when these feelings of worry, nervousness, and fear persist, becoming so intense that they hinder our ability to function in our daily lives, it is when it escalates from emotion to a more serious problem. Anxiety is not just limited to feelings of worry and fear. It can also manifest as physical symptoms. You might experience tension in your muscles, as if they're wound up too tight. Headaches can become a frequent visitor, dull, throbbing pains that persist through the day. You might feel queasy, with your stomach churning uncomfortably. And at night, when you should be finding solace in sleep, you might find it elusive, as your racing thoughts keep you tossing and turning. Anxiety can also cause physical symptoms like tense muscles, headaches, feeling sick to your stomach, and having trouble sleeping. One manifestation of excessive worry or anxiety is a panic attack. It's a sudden surge of overwhelming fear that triggers severe physical reactions when there's real danger or apparent cause. It's akin to an alarm system going off in your body, even though there is no immediate threat. The sensations can be so distressing that people often mistake it for a heart attack. As a psychiatric nurse with years of experience in the field, I've witnessed firsthand the prevalence of concerning fact. The magnitude of individuals affected by anxiety is staggering, and it serves as a constant reminder of how essential it is to address this issue. Understanding anxiety is the first step towards managing it, and knowing tips to relieve the immediate and long-term symptoms is what has been the goal as a psychiatric nurse. Now that you understand anxiety, and as I am about to share the tips to relieve, allow me to share my personal experience as a psychiatric nurse. An observation that I have made over the years, witnessing different cases and interacting with patients, is that anxiety is one of the chief complaints of most my patients, regardless of their diagnosis. Most of my patients have a tendency to get excessively anxious about elements that are unfamiliar to them. It's like stepping into the unknown, an uncharted territory, and that can be quite unsettling. For instance, a patient who is uncertain about discharging from the hospital may become anxious about the sequence of events that will follow. Some patients who are ready to be discharged became anxious about being readmitted again. It's this apprehension that hovers in their mind, making them fearful of the future, which then invariably starts to affect their health, both mentally and physically. There was even this particular patient whose anxiety was triggered by the concern for a loved one who was not in a good state of health. He worried about not being about to be there for his loved one because he himself was sick. You see, the sight of their loved one's deteriorating health would shatter their own mental peace, increasing their anxiety levels. In all those situations, patient requested for an anxiety medication to help alleviate the symptoms. But it's important to understand that this can only provide a temporary relief. It's like putting a band-aid on a wound that requires stitches. It might stop the bleeding for a while, but the problem is not fixed. This made me introspect, and I started thinking about alternative ways to provide more long-term sustainable solutions to my patients. And that's how I came up with this simple, yet effective idea. I introduced them to journaling. I provided each of my patients with a journal and encouraged them to write down what was making them anxious. I urged them to search their thoughts and write down whatever was bothering them. Alongside, I also asked them to write down possible solutions they could think of. The response was overwhelming. There was this one patient who returned to me, not one, not two, but 3 pages filled with a detailed list of causes that triggered his anxiety, and surprisingly, they also managed to identify potential solutions to their problems. When I inquired about how he felt afterward, he admitted he felt lighter, almost as if a burden had been lifted off his shoulders. This was not a single case, but multiple cases. My patient found solace in their journal, using it as a tool to express their feelings, fears, and hopes. This is a perfect example of how sometimes simple steps can make a significant impact in dealing with anxiety. The act of journaling offers a sense of control, and it helps build a stronger mental sphere. However, it is equally important to understand that these steps are not a replacement for professional help. Anxiety is a serious concern and should be addressed with the help of a professional. So, you see, while simple steps can be of immense help in dealing with anxiety, it's crucial to seek professional assistance as well. Now, it's crucial to understand your triggers, so begin by recording what makes you anxious, regardless of whether you can pinpoint a specific reason or not. Once you've listed these triggers, start brainstorming on possible solutions to each concern. You'd be surprised at how practical and achievable most solutions are. The next approach to consider involves relaxation techniques. These are tools that can help you unwind and relieve the tension that often comes with anxiety. Techniques include deep breathing, muscle relaxation, and guided imagery. For instance, deep breathing is a simple yet effective way of calming your mind. You could try a simple exercise with me. Inhale through your nose at a count of 4, hold your breath for another count of 4, and finally exhale through your mouth at a count of 6. Repeat this cycle for a few minutes to feel an instant reduction in your anxiety level. Next, focus on your self-talk and mental patterns. Often, our anxiety is fueled by wandering thoughts and negative assumptions. When you catch yourself drifting into negativity, try to challenge these thoughts. Probe a bit deeper. Is there any tangible evidence supporting these thoughts? What is the absolute worst outcome, and how likely is it to happen? Most importantly, is there a more balanced perspective to this situation? Don't forget to question, analyze, and ultimately, reshape your thinking. Another powerful strategy is incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine. It's about staying present in moment, without passing judgment on yourself or the situation. You could cultivate mindfulness through practices such as meditation and yoga, or even by dedicating a few quiet moments to focus on your breathing during the day. Stability is often comforting for those dealing with anxiety. Try to establish a routine that includes regular sleep, well-balanced meals, exercise, and relaxation. Consistency can help you feel more grounded and less anxious. Finally, remember it's okay to seek help. If your anxiety feels overwhelming, don't hesitate to reach out. Therapists, counselors, and mental health professionals are trained to provide personalized treatments like therapy or medication. Thanks for watching this video on anxiety and how best to manage it. Remember, you're not alone and there are ways to feel better. Take care.